Happy Thursday, Stampers and Paper Crafters. This is Facebook Live number 314. My name is Joy Borwedge, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Burnsville, Minnesota, and I have been a demonstrator since August of 1999. I have for you tonight a super cute card that is actually really easy to recreate using any type of stamp set. All right, so I'm going to put you down at the table, and in a few seconds, if you get motion sickness or anything like that, just look away, and I'll let you know when I'm done messing around with the camera. All right, so hold on. So hopefully everybody is having a great week so far. All right, so here comes that awkward turn. There we go. And let's see here if we could get this moved over. You know, I used to have, when I lived at the house, I had a really nice setup. So I could, on my table, I could stand that side and run around and then have this all set up. But because right over there is a window, I can't stand outside. So I have to do it this way. So we're going to get this set up. Okay. So again, my name is Joy Borwedge. I have an Instagram page at Stampin' for Joy. My online store is stampinforjoy.stampinup.net. I have a email address at penguinsz33@outlook.com. And my current toast code is 2RRBUPMR. So you can use that host code when you have an order that is under $150. When your order is over $150, you don't have to use that host code, because then you will receive all the hostess benefits. It's still a little crooked, so I'm just going to try to see if I can get this so it's not so crooked. I think that looks okay. And also I have a Facebook page at Stampin' for Joy. Now, most of my replays are on my Facebook page, Joy Borwedge. All right. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. The email address, if you do not have the current catalogs, which actually have a very short shelf life right now, you could request these catalogs. And this is through the end of April, and as well as the mini catalog. Now, if you do not have a demonstrator and you would like a new catalog, please send me an email at penguinz33@outlook.com, and I will mail you one once I get them in. Now, these catalogs have a lot of product in it that's retiring, and so that's actually one of the things I'm going to be featuring today, is one of the retiring stamp sets. Actually, it's a bundle, and a bundle is when you purchase a stamp set and a die, or a stamp set and a punch, and you save 10%. So we're going to be working out of these catalogs tonight. Another thing that's coming up is I am going to be part of an event that's coming up on June 29th, where there are going to be demonstrators, and we're going to be, see, I think this still looks crooked. No, it looks, okay, I think that's going to have to be the last of it. Okay, so anyways, it's going to be on Saturday, June 29th, so save the date. And you can keep on checking out the website, www.thestampinevent.com. And then that way you can register once it's available. You will go home with 16 different handmade cards made by you. And they're all pretty self-explanatory. The demonstrators will be hanging out with us. Let's see. I have not put on Facebook, the Facebook Live number 313 back on my video or on my Instagram page yet. So if you want to check this out, this has a really cool technique using the acetate or window sheets, and this is using the Submarine Life. that is actually out of the spring mini catalog. So if you want to go see how that was made, you could check out my Facebook page, and you can watch that. And again, it is Facebook Live number 313. So I've been really busy at work. We've not had a lot of time to do stamping things. So this is the card that we're going to be making tonight. And it is, let's see if I could put that, there we go. And I'm going to show you how to make it tonight. And like I said, it's very quick, very simple. This is the Designer Series paper, and it's retiring. And that is, it's called the Zoo Crew. And it is out of the annual catalog. It's on page 132. And let's see. 132. Oh, well, the Designer Series paper is on page 132. And let's see. The Zoo Crew is on page 160. No. I have lots of pages. Page 47. There we go. I'm just like, that doesn't seem right. It's page 47. We're actually using my favorite part of the stamp set. This alligator here was the one, and that raccoon really, really caught me. So here are some things that you can certainly do with this stamp set. The paper is retiring, so is the ribbon. And, yeah. And, so like I said, when you buy a stamp set and the dies, you save 10%. Now, a lot of these products will be having a, let's see, a discount on them up to 60%. And let's see if this has a discount on it. Does not look like it. I just want to make sure. Actually, okay, so it looks like the Zoo Crew, the combo pack right here is going to be 40% off. April 9th, I think, is when it takes effect for the retirements. Now, things are while supplies last. So if you wish to wait around, you might not get a chance to purchase the items that you wish to get. So it's, you know, your choice to wait if you wish to get a discount, but it's while supplies last. So again, there's a lot of cute things made with this stamp set. Some of the things that I've done in the past, featuring the Zany Zoo Crew. Here is a stamp, or a stamp set featuring, well, it's a card featuring the tailor-made tags, which is retiring, and the Designer Series paper, and the ribbon. And that is Facebook Live number 269, if you'd like to see how that was created. This one is a fun fold, and we made this card at the event. And this features stamping as well as the Designer Series paper. And that is Facebook Live number 266, if you wish to see that being made. And this one here is Facebook Live number 261. And that's just very cute, using the Stampin' Blends and coloring the raccoon in along with the balloons. Okay, so that is featuring cards that we've done in the past. And all right, so let's get on to today's card. We're also going to be using the Charming Sentiments stamp set. Now, this is a stamp set that is retiring. Now, the Sentiment Silhouettes, which coordinates with it, is also retiring. And let's see here, on page 166, let's see if I can tell you if there is going to be the discount on it. Page 166. And let's see here. That is called Sentiment Silhouettes. And that's going to be that's going to be 50% off. Sentiment Silhouette dies. So, yep, that's going to be $17.50 coming up. And the Charming Sentiments, let's see here. I should have looked these up before I went live, but I didn't think of it until now. And that stamp set's not going to be on sale. But what I did, if you do decide to purchase this for the sale, you're going to have to wait to get the discount. But what I did is I, on my magnetic sheet, now there's two sides here, so there's a lot in this stamp set for $17.50. I mean, what an awesome deal. But what I did is I lined up, I numbered all of my words, and then everything here is cut out with a die. So I numbered them so you don't have to, so I don't have to sit there and figure out which one went with which one while I'm trying to do a Facebook Live. So that is also a stamp set that we're going to be using. The Parakeet Party, which is the color that we're going to be using tonight, comes from the 2022 to 2024 in color Baker's Twine. That is retiring tonight. Well, not tonight, but I'm going to be using that tonight. And like I said, things are while supplies last. We're also going to be using the Stampin' Blends, the light and the dark. And I didn't have a time to get everything ready. So this is an actual piece of Parakeet Party. It is 5.5 by 8.5, and we're going to score it at 4 1/4. Then we have a piece of Parakeet Party, which is cut just 1/4 short inch. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. And then this piece is a basic white. Now this is cut at 5 by 3 3/4. This is going to be our inside panel. And then I have 2 pieces of scrap. And then we have the crocodile. And then the black and white ribbon gingham check. This is going to be retiring as well. So I'm going to take off my sweatshirt for a second, and then we're going to start creating. Okay, so I took a quick drink. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take out, take everything and put it off to the side here, because we're going to stamp, but I want to get our, words are escaping me. Like I said, we've been working a lot at work. We have a new computer system, and it's making everything. It's gotten better. This is, I think, our 3rd week of working on it, or working with it. So we're actually able to do things. Part of my job is to ship or help assistant shipping. And so we're starting to get, a lot of orders. And people are learning and making mistakes, and so we're, working around that, and, like I said, we're all learning, but, I've been doing anywhere from 10 to over 13 hours, and, so I'm a little tired. Okay, so I scored that, and now we're going to stamp this piece, but first of all, we're actually going to grab our mat, our Stampin' Pearson mat, and we're going to color this using our dark Parakeet Party. Now, some of the re-inkers and the ink pads are sold out. Now, I haven't had a chance to go back in and see what's out of the retiring list. What's not available, you know, what has completely sold out. So if there's anything on that list that you want, quickly get it. I like to use my Stampin' Blends to color the ribbon and the embellishments so that it coordinates with what I'm doing. And we're just going to let that, it's not that it needs to dry or anything, but I'm just going to set that over to the side. And then now, like I said, we're going to stamp on this. And we're going to be using the, just trying to clean up a little bit. You know what? I forgot to show you the Zoo Crew paper. This is on page 132 in the annual catalog, and it features the critters, and then on the back side it's black and white. And so I try to make it just in the normal swatches that I do. It's like a 2x2 square. So doing that with this, you couldn't really get the gist of what the designer series paper looks like. And so you have quite a bit of variety of the designer series paper featuring the animals, so that if somebody's into hiking or outdoorsy, you could, you know, make this scrapbooking. You can use this in card making. And if somebody, you know, has a birthday that's coming up and they're into dancing, you could certainly make your cards a little bit more specific, geared towards them. So like I said, this designer series paper, it's totally awesome and it's super cute, and I love the black and white. Okay, so that, yeah, it's really sad that it's retiring. So we're going to be doing a tone on tone. So it's going to be monochromatic, and we're going to be using the alligator. Hi, Darlene, welcome. So we have the Parakeet Party, and the idea is to stamp the image and just place it on the cardstock wherever you want. And then you're going to move it around. Instead of moving my wrist around, I move my paper. And so then that way, I don't have to contort my wrist in different shapes and sizes. And so we're going to try to not overrun on anybody, but we're kind of creating our own background. So if you have the designer series paper and you didn't want to use, you know, all the colors, you could certainly do something like this, which is tone on tone, and create your own designer series paper. And it turns out to be a lot of fun doing it this way. And you can go off the side. And it's, you know, actually I recommend going off the side. So then that way you don't, it doesn't look like it's prepared. Okay, let's see how we can get in there. I guess we're going to have to use that tail to get in. There we go. And we can get his snout right there. Okay, I think that is pretty much where we can go with that. Okay, so that's actually pretty easy. And then we're going to stamp the alligator, first generation, and then we're going to stamp it second generation right here. And that's going to be the inside panel. And that way we won't have to, you can certainly write over it. And hi, Nancy, welcome. You can write over it and then not feel awkward about doing so. Okay, then we're going to take the memento, and that is going to be for our greeting on the inside and our greeting on the outside. And we're going to die cut those. So we're going to do the woohoo from the retiring stamp set called Charming Sentiments. And then we're going to use the coordinating dies that go with it. And we're just allowing that ink to transfer. So we're going to cut that out. I love the dies that actually Stampin' Up! Did that, where every sentiment that was in there has something to cut it out with. So you can choose to go full on, like this, it says, wishing you happiest of birthdays. So you could certainly use that directly to paper, or you can cut it out. And I'm actually just going to stamp the inside. And I probably shouldn't have done that. We're going to hold off on that. I forgot that I want to put my gingham ribbon in there. So let's put the adhesive on the back side. And I'm just going to use the Stampin' Seal. And we're going to place that ribbon. This is retiring. And we just use the Stampin' Blends to color it. Now, like I said, you can do this card in any color and any stamp set. I mean, it's a really easy card to recreate. Now, if I had enough time from, getting off of work, then I could have done one in each of the retiring in colors. But Parakeet Party won because of the alligator. All right, so that's the inside. Now we're going to put the greeting on. Okay, now I probably should have just made sure that I am putting this on straight before I glued that to the inside, because I always say, don't glue until you're done. Okay, I like that. I'm glad I don't have to rip it off. Yeah, so don't do as I say, do as I tell you. All right. Learn from my mistakes. So that's the inside. That's actually really easy and already done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And we're just going to use the mini. And I want to let you know that the cutting plates are increasing in price coming up with the new catalog. So if you want to go in my online store, and the inkers and the cardstock, and there's several other things that are being, the price is going up. So get them while you still can at a cheaper rate if you so choose. Now, one thing that I've heard from many people is that the mini cuts really hard for them. So Stampin' Up! Suggests that you alternate the, you make kind of like a 3. So the base is pushed that way, the cutting plate is pushed that way, and the other cutting plate is placed right on top so that these two match. So it kind of looks like a 3. So this one and this one are the same, and the one in the middle is pushed over that way a little bit. And then that way it goes through so much easier. And it cuts. Now I'm going to get some new cutting plates, and I'm going to kind of get those saved up a little bit. All right, so that's our first thing. So we got our words cut out for the front part of the card. Woohoo! And then I'm going to cut the alligator. Now, this alligator, crocodile. This crocodile, we're actually going to cut the designer series paper and the cardstock at the same time. Because what we're going to do is we're going to glue that together because I want to put the crocodile on dimensionals. And so it's going to give it a sturdier base. And so we're going to put that on the plate. And we're going to stagger that again. Oh, it looks like I need to cut this down a little bit. And this is just a piece of scrap paper for the Parakeet Party that's underneath it. And seeing as how I am using Parakeet Party, this way, excuse me, a tickle. This way, if the color shows underneath, it's the same color as the card. All right, so that is where I want that to go. Oops, I just moved it. There we go. I'm looking at my tires and my tail. There we go. Push that down and put the other cutting plate on top to get that staggered look. And there we go. Sorry for the shaking of the table. All right, and we're done. Okay, so that turned out very nice. All right, so we're just going to close these up. And one thing I like about this one, this is the mini. It doesn't weigh a lot. This is my pinky, okay? So it's great for traveling. If you're going to a weekend getaway with the girls, fun and easy one to do. Okay, so I have, let's undo that. Guess I'll save that. I use my Post-it notes until they're not sticky anymore. And that cut out perfectly my little crocodile. And there's the hole. And I'll get my people poker out and just poke that hole right through. And now it'll be a little bit more sturdy when I send it through the mail, because whoever wins this card, I want them to use it actually to send it to make somebody else's day. And so that's going to look like that once we glue that together. It's just going to make it a little bit more sturdy. Okay, so this piece we're not done yet with. We're going to take the Parakeet Party. Now I have a little tip. Put a little notch at the top. So then that way when you are done with, and you could do it both ends, it doesn't really matter. When you're done with your thread or linen, you can stick it in there and then always know where your end is. And that way they're not unraveling in the bag, because that would drive me nuts. Okay, so I'm going to leave myself enough to tie a bow. And then I'm going to wrap this around twice. And then we're going to snip that off. All right. And we're going to put that back in the bag. And I'm just going to leave my tip in there like that. And I do that with all of them. And when you go to grab it, it doesn't do that untangling mess. And something other here comes, you know, hanging out the other side. And it doesn't even have an edge. Hi, Nancy. Welcome. Okay. So then now, hi. What do you want? Benji's like, you've been gone for a long time today, and you haven't pet me once yet. He's like, you're talking to me, but I don't understand what you're saying. That goes with a lot of people. Benji's a cat. Okay, so now I need a little bit more on this side. I want them a little bit more equal. There we go. Okay, so I'm actually going to tie a knot. Now, I'm going to give you a little tip. If you don't like the moving around parts of your ribbon, or let's see, baker's twine or any linen thread or anything like that, I'm just going to give you a little tip. Take a mini glue dot, and you can kind of make it a little mush ball of where you want it. Okay, and now you're going to tie a knot, and put it right, that little knot is going to be right in that spot. Okay, and then that way you can not have to, you can tie your knot now, and you don't have to have somebody else's finger to help you. And then you just squish that together so it hangs out, and then you make your bow. And then you can fuss with that as much as you want. Come on. You're just gonna be like that, aren't you? Okay. So, and then you can push down and then have that, whatever. Now we're gonna put this directly on, because we're gonna, like I said, we're doing tone on tone. And so we're going to put adhesive on the back side. And this is Parakeet Party. This is one of the retiring in colors. And you're going to want to hang around, because I'm going to show you product that's retiring, stuff that I have, and then that way you could see, oh, I haven't seen that before, because sometimes looking at things in person rather than just in a catalog, you might see it better. So I'm going to kind of go through the things that I own that are retiring, and then that way you can kind of see and say, oh, I didn't have that on my list of things to get. Maybe now I should. All right, so I just used my take your pick tool, stab and grabbed those backings off. Oh, and I forgot to put that, let's see, grab the silicone mat, because we have the, you guys are probably yelling at me, Joy, 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 don't, you forgot to kind of put the adhesive down. Okay, so seeing as how they're already hanging out down here, you could certainly use your liquid Tombow glue, but like I said, this is going to be quick. All right, so the dimensionals are sticky to the silicone mat, but now that my crocodile is attached, we can just lift this up now. See, there's always a way to fix something, and that's why I love the silicone mat. It's because I might have to do that more often than not. And so I'm going to put my crocodile on here, and then we are going to take our woohoo, and we're going to put that underneath. Okay, now that's the front of our card, and we are going to take these gems, and they are called the iridescent pastel gems. These are retiring as well. And I am going to take the dark Parakeet Party. Yep. And I'm going to use the nib tip because these are definitely going to ruin your brush if you were to use your brush, because they are faceted, and so they have edges, and so this will basically tear apart your brush if you do this several times. Maybe once is okay, but we're doing 2 big ones and a little one. Now these are considered clear. I wrote the color on the back side, so it's called gold. Gold, balmy blue, and calypso coral. So those are the colors that they coordinate with. But because we're doing the card, like I said, I love to use my blends to coordinate my accessories. Okay, so we are going to put that down here in the corner, and one right up here by the bow, and then we're going to go with the little one kind of up here. We're creating a triangle, and we have the 2 bigger ones down here, so it brings the eye, it gives it weight. So when people talk about, yeah, they say, you know, the numbers, use odd numbers, and it's more pleasing to the eye. As an ex-floral designer, we also learned that the larger embellishments, or flowers in that case, they should be down at the bottom. It gives it weight. And it's more pleasing to the eye as well. So I'll tear off my tape end. Okay, so I'm just going to clean this up for a second and put things out of the way. And we're going to grab the Wink of Stella. And I know this is unavailable right now, but it is returning. And we're just going to do the flowers. And then we are going to do the flowers on the inside of the card. All right, and that is our card. Like I said, very cute and very easy. You can do this with any of the critters in the Zany Zoo. Everybody would be, you know, cute, and then you could use your designer series paper. Now these dies cut out, all the critters have their dies, and so then that way, and there's so much more here that you can see. Let's see, where did I put those cards? So here's, we colored out, then we used the designer series paper, and then we used the designer series paper plus the tailor-made tags. And those are retiring along with this ribbon as well. So those are, so you can earn, or you can win this card by doing a thumbs up, or if you do a heart. So that will get you a name in the entry. If you leave a comment, all you have to do is say hi, or, you know, cute card, or pick me. Just kidding. And if you share this on your timeline, you can get 2 entries also to get a chance to win this card. So I want to say thank you very much. And I'm going to show the retiring products that I own, just so that you can kind of see them in person. And this is all my stuff. So let's get going. Some things are going to be from the annual catalog, and some things are going to be from the spring mini catalog. So I'm going to start with the paper, the designer series paper. This is called the Rock and Roll designer series paper that is retiring. It's from the spring mini catalog. It looks like this. And it's a 12 by 12 featuring black and white designs. And you can use any color. You can use your brushes, you can use your blends. So you can use any color medium to make these a specific color in which your project needs. That is, again, from the annual catalog. Then we have the soft shimmer 12 by 12 specialty designer series paper. It comes in Berry Burst, Bubblegum, Lost Lagoon, and Night of Navy. So that's Night of Navy, and that is the Lost Lagoon color. And again, these are retiring. It is from the annual catalog. It's on page 127. Like I said, these are while supplies last. Then we have the textured trim, textured shimmer paper. It is 12 by 12, and it's in the annual catalog. It's balmy blue, shaded spruce, and white. And then it's autographed by one of my kitty cats. And if you could see, it is shimmery, and it's ribbed, kind of like corrugated cardboard. So it's really cool. I did a Facebook Live featuring the brushes to color this into the color that I needed it to be, which I believe was, what you doing, huh, Benji? And this is in the annual catalog, and it's on page 31, I believe. No, it's not. It's in the back. All right, so then we have the Distressed Gold Designer Series paper, specialty paper. This is retiring. It's in the annual catalog, and it's sold out several times, but I'm sure that this won't last very long. It's a lot of fun to play with, and it has a very nice feel to it. It's a little bit thicker than designer series paper, but not as thick as cardstock, so it won't add a lot of bulk to your craft. It would be also a lot of fun to scrapbook with. All right, so this is called Rose Gold 12 by 12 specialty paper. There's actually flavors. There's 3 different colors in here. And one is more of a holographic. One is a brushed. And the other one is just like a foil. So there's 3 different colors in here of the rose gold. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. And it's in the annual catalog. All right. Okay, so Fresh as a Daisy Designer Series paper. This is in the annual catalog, and I'm just going to show you this one here. This piece it's kind of hard to do a swatch, but the other side is the in colors that came out this past catalog, with this new catalog, and this is retiring. And it is very colorful. It coordinates with a lot of our cardstock, and it, like I said, again, it's retiring. And I love the fact that it features the wash on the back side, because it doesn't necessarily lend itself to just flowers. And that, again, is in the annual catalog. Okay, so let's go with, the 2023 to 2025 in color designer series paper. Now this here is, let's see, where did I put that? Right here is a color sample. Now the in colors are not retiring. It's just the designer series paper that is. So these feature the in colors that have one more year. And so they have dots, stripes, hatch marks, and hearts. And again, this is retiring. And so it's while supplies lasts. Oops, I'm sorry, Benji. Don't step on my feet. Yeah, underneath my feet, I should say. Okay. I have, let's see here, some embellishments. So the embellishments that I use tonight in the card, they are retiring. And so this is the iridescent rhinestone basic jewels. These are in the annual catalog. They are retiring. Then the brushed metallic adhesive backed dots. They are very loved and retiring. The rustic metallic adhesive backed dots. These are perfect for using in the trucking along online exclusives. The hubcaps, really cute on there. Classic matte dots, and they are in black, gray, vanilla, and white. And these are retiring in the annual catalog. The festive pearls, they are retiring. We have red, I think pool party, silver, and gold. They are retiring in the annual catalog. And these are my favorite dots. Oh my gosh, these are so beautiful. Again, the new colors, these are the in colors. These are not retiring. It's just that the dots are retiring. And these are called 2023 to 2025 in color dots. Get these while you can. Lots of fun, and they don't add bulk to your cards to put them through the mail. Hi, Charlie. Okay, I have some punches here that are retiring. The banners pick a punch. They either leave kind of a point or they actually leave a banner. Different sizes. That's retiring, as well as the dragonfly punch, which is retiring. Now, like I said, some of these things do have sale discounts up to 60% off. All right, so that is that. Ribbon. Let's see. We have the Simply Elegant trim. They are the gold and the silver. Those are retiring in the annual catalog. Then we have the Pool Party ribbon. It's in the annual catalog. Very shimmery and soft, very pliable. And that's retiring. All right. These are loose silver sequins. These are retiring. They are in the annual catalog. Ooh, my eyeballs. They're not retiring. They're not a Stampin' Up! Product. So these have different sizes. So some are clear, some are silver. They are sequin shaped, and different sizes in both. So they are retiring. I was going to get these and do some shaker cards with them, and it's never been used because I just got them. So those are retiring. And annual catalog. Eyeballs, those are mine. the iridescent shaker circles. These are made specifically for shaker cards. Lots of fun with these. So they have little circles, and then they have the spots that come out of the circles. So they're iridescent, kind of like, I don't know what colors they would be. Hopefully they would say something. Lots of fun. Those are retiring. And, okay, so this is the same thing. So I have 2 cases of those. Those are retiring. And then I have more ribbon. The in color ribbon. Now, again, like I said, these colors are not retiring, but just the ribbon is. And I love the texture of these. These are from the annual catalog. And this is boho blue and copper clay. This is wild wheat. And then we have moody mauve. And then we have the pebbled path. And that's the one I use the most ribbon for. These ribbons are retiring. And then, now these colors are retiring this year. So this is Parakeet Party, Tahitian Tide, Starry Sky, Orchid Opulence, and this is Sweet Sorbet. Now these are really cool ribbons. What I did with these is, again, I put a little niche in there, and that allows it to put the ends in so I could find my ends. But one of the things about this is that it kind of spreads out a little bit. And also it's really cool for fraying. Ooh, same thing with the other ribbon that I just showed. You can do the fraying technique, of this type of ribbon, the ones I just showed. Those are retiring. I know you're hungry probably, aren't you? Okay, so then let's show you this Filled with Happiness stamp set. Hi, Carolyn. You're going to have to come back and watch the replay of the cute card. I forgot to notify you. I'm sorry. So I'm kind of going through the things that are retiring. The Filled with Happiness. Now, there's a lot more retiring than these are just the things that I own. So this is out of the Spring Mini catalog. It's retiring. It coordinates with the punch, the modern oval punch, which is not retiring. Let's see. The dots and spots dies, that's retiring. The Christmas pine cone label dies, that is retiring. The tailor-made tags is retiring. So these are all in the annual catalog. And then the time-worn folder. Let's see if I could put... I'm going to put my magnetic sheet in the middle. See if you could see. There you go. You could see that a little bit better. This is one of my favorite ones to use as a background that doesn't have anything specific in it. Then the Merry Medley. This is the folder that's retiring. It's a 3D. It's out of the annual catalog. Now, these are stamp sets that are retiring that don't have anything related to them. So this is called The Biggest Wish. One of my favorite stamp sets. Just because I love the fact that it has the bold words and then it has the scripted. That's retiring. It's out of the annual catalog. And then In the Moment, that is retiring. And Happy Hedgehogs is retiring along with the Punch. Now, these are not a bundle, but they coordinate with each other. And as I said, there are some things that have a discount on them. The Ladybug, Hello Ladybug, and the Coordinating Punch, that is retiring. That was a bundle. Okay, so now here are the coordinate. Now these were bundles at one time. So the two-tone Flora is retiring, and this is just the dies are gorgeous inside of themselves. Now when I sell these, they will be sold as a bundle, just because it's so much easier to not fussy cut. The Pansy Patch, that is retiring. That is in the annual catalog. One of my favorites, Sending Smiles. This is retiring. And again, some things are with a discount on them. Color and Contour, and the dies that coordinate with them, the scalloped contours. This is a newer stamp set to me, so I'm really sad to see that go. Dainty Delight and the coordinating dies. Now I have kind of a cheat sheet that just kind of shows you what the dies do. These are the items that stamp and then have a die, and then everything here is extra. And I've done several Facebook Lives featuring this bundle. So you can go back to my Facebook Lives and check things out. And then Timeless Arrangements. This was, we actually have something that is in this publication that does the same, has the same idea, where the piece right here hides behind the label, and so you can build your scene and have to not worry about trying to glue all those in. And my mouth is getting dry, so I'm going to take a deep breath, or a drink. All right, and so this is retiring, and it's in the annual catalog. Okay, now as I've said, there's certainly a lot more retiring, but these are just the things that I own. So again, here is the card that we made tonight featuring the retiring stamp set called Zoo Crew. Zany Zoo. And that's the inside of the card. Using the Parakeet Party. So the other things that are retiring is the, I should purge the, so the Sweet Sorbet, the Tahitian Tide, the Starry Sky, the Orchid Oasis. I said Orchid Opulence, didn't I, before? And the Parakeet Party. That's, so using, I mean, this cute card, you can do it in every one of these colors if you want. But the re-inkers and the blends are also retiring. So you're going to want to make sure that you get, because I know that some of the re-inkers, Corey, welcome. Some of the re-inkers are already sold out. So this is all featuring the product with these in colors. And I forgot the Parakeet Party, the ones that we used. And then also this ribbon, the gingham black and white that we colored in the card today, that's retiring as well. So get it while you still can, and that way you won't miss out, because some of the prices, if you find on eBay, will be higher because you can't get them anymore, especially with the re-inkers and the ink pads. So I want to say thank you very much again for hanging out with me on a Thursday evening. And I also forgot to show you that these are retiring. These are the iridescent pastel gems, and those are retiring as well. But to win this card, you are going to want to do a thumbs up or a heart on this video, and that will get your name entered into the drawing. Then if you leave a comment, all you have to do is say hi, and you get a chance to win, get your name into the drawing with this cute card, and I'll send it to you for free. And then share this on your timeline, this video. Number one, that is a great compliment that you enjoyed this video enough to share it. And there might be a paper crafter on your timeline that you don't know anything about that hasn't touched their stuff in a while. So maybe seeing my video might inspire them to pick it up again. All right, guys, thank you very much. I hope you have a great evening, and looking forward to the weekend and maybe some warmer temperatures next year or next week. Have a great weekend, guys. Happy stamping.